So I've been listening to Andrew Tate's interview with Myron and Fresh of the Fresh and Fit podcast, and listening, it came to a theme that what is the number one threat to men? What is the threat? What is the matrix attacks? What is the problem? And to sum it all up, he basically says the number one issue is women. It's like nothing can screw a man like a woman. And it's important to take that note that this is what the number one threat is. Women? But how could you be scared of a woman? But what I've been thinking when I'm listening to this is that, like, okay, so basically they're saying like the number one thing is the Me Too, is a person creeping out of your past and making up a story. So if you look at it like, okay, so the number one thing is it's women. And as a religious person, I think of it like, no sex before marriage. Not because it's a virtuous deed, not because it's a moral way of living your life. It's just like, yeah, you cannot be dealing with women. Why? Because in the hearts and minds of humanity today, whether you want to admit it or not, people just don't like women being victimized, brutalized, hurt, treated poorly. People don't like it. Kids don't like it. Elderly people don't like it. It's just weird. So if you take Vince McMahon, for example, guaranteed if he did what he did, like defecating in someone's hair, if that was really a man he did it to, like the young 21-year-old, 25-year-old young male twink, it wouldn't have hit that hard. It would have been a little weird, but it wouldn't have meant the same amount. So whenever these guys are sitting there in their office and they're getting blackmailed, when they tell him like, hey, guess what, guy? We got the story on you ready for this girl. She's going to come out and say this. Your little lover, we flipped her, and she's going to go bad on you. It's just like, oh, shit. Like, people hate that. People hate anything that makes women look weird. Not makes women look weird. More like anything weird with a woman is just weird. So it's a double-edged thing in the sense that, like, you know, society has got us thinking that we're equal. Society has us thinking that, like, it doesn't matter. They're just like you, blah, 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 blah. But when push comes to shove, people have a problem with the suffering of women. So it's just such a smart takeaway. Like, basically they're only saying you can only deal with your wife. Now, a lot of people believe that, like, oh yeah, to have no sex before marriage, it's like this covenant thing. But at the end of the day, you really got to think, like, you cannot be a rock star going on the road and tagging everything up, because, man, they will come after you. So it's just kind of like being like, oh yeah, everywhere I go, I like to steal something. It's like, dude, this is the 20s. You're on camera. You're being predicted every single thing you're going to do. There's a little man little figurine spinning around in a computer somewhere saying like blah 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 blah, all the statistics. People don't realize how many statistics there are about them. So in closing, it when I'm listening to the Top G, I'm admiring. It's just like, oh yeah, like the most simplest problems are the biggest problems. The most thing that you think you could look over, no, that's the number one problem. That's the number one pitfall. That's the number one area of attack. That's the number one area of blackmail. That's the number one area of everything. So if you just want to avoid a lot of problems, it'd be better to just not even get involved with extramarital affairs. It's better to not even get involved with someone you're not married with, period. So I liked the message there. If you get anything out of this, please leave a like and subscribe. All the positive feedback really helps. Thank you.